Hello everybody, welcome back to more AEW on TEW 2020. We are here, week 4 of June 2022, starting off with our Dynamite and Dark. Start off with Lucas Fenrir of the Nightmare family defeating Shawn Spears. Bianca Crowley, also of the Nightmare family, defeats Yuka Sakazaki. Proud and Powerful defeat the Gun Club. Shotzi Blackheart defeats Mary Dobson. The Best Friends defeat Bronson Center and Nat Murphy. However, Chuck Taylor tears his meniscus. And excellent chemistry between the two members of the Papas of Pump. Keep that in mind. Thank you, Kane. Priscilla Kelly defeats Ty Conti. Thunder Rosa defeats Leva Bates. And then Jordan Grace afterwards makes her way to the ring, but Daga and Bandito get into her way. It's apparent that Grace wants to go one-on-one with Thunder Rosa. Two draw back and forth for a while, until Gresham comes out to pull Jordan away. And seeing this, Big Guerrero gets the great idea of challenging Jonathan Gresham and Jordan Grace to go against Daga and Thunder Rosa for next week on Dark. One thing I will note is that I am probably going to, after the next week, since I'm kind of doing two special shows there where I'm having world title defense, as well as a lot of other title defenses on the line over the course of both of those. I'm going to be resetting the stories just because between weeks 2 and 3, I want to say, I had like 3 months off of recording, so after this, Big Swole defeats Lady Lydia, the Queen's Court. Then Jade Cargill defeats the Bunny. And Jade Cargill and her group, the Boss Bitches, pose in the ring. They begin to loudly make fun of the Queen's Court. They're all taking turns talking about why they're better than each member of the court. And they all say that they just, above all else, hate Ashley Flair. Because she's here because she has that pedigree, because her dad is Ric Flair, because she used to be in the WWE, while none of these people have any WWE experience. Of course, real life, Elena Black does now. She is Cora Jade, of course, but not in this universe. So, we move along. Main event of Dark. Antonio Lopez, the former Cesaro, defeats Jake Hager. Pretty quick show, lots of matches. Again, because I'm going to be resetting storylines because I forgot what all of them are about. Our show of Dynamite begins with CM Punk taking out Tony Deppen, the Anaconda of Ice. After the match, Brutality Inc. slowly make their way towards the ring, but Punk looks pretty unfazed by this. Before they can get in, though, Samoa Joe storms out. I almost said Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe storms out and he has mic in hand. He says, "Pac, I'm tired of your shit. I know that you sent your lapdog Dijak to take out me and Vikingo, and I'm not just gonna sit around and let that happen. Me and Punk, we've had our differences in the past, but there's something that we've had in common. And we're gonna use that now. And we've got even more in common to take you out. So me and Punk will take on you and your overblown cronies. I'll even invite your old pal Vikingo in on the fun." And Pac, he seems to approve of this. He appreciates the ballsiness of Samoa Joe, then he still sends everyone out to go and beat down Joe and Punk. 67 rating is not great. Team Taz is seen backstage with Taz yelling at Andrew Everett, who Brian Cage and Ricky Starks are beating up. He says that Andrew's claims of having anyone else who believes his shtick of being Andre the Giant's son is a lie, and he's interrupted by the newly debuted Paul White, who tells Taz to lay his hands off his brother. Taz is like, "What? No, I've worked with you for years. This is not your brother. I know you're not Andre's kid, and I know he's not Andre's kid." Paul just pushes aside Taz, and then he takes out Cage and Starks, picks up Andrew Everett, carries him off, and he says that Andrew and himself will take out Cage and Starks next week. Yeah, Paul White. I had him in just to be a road agent. WWE did not bring him back, so brought him in as road agent. Maybe do some commentary stuff with him, and then I had this storyline where Andrew Everett, as it's pronounced truly, he's going through. He's claiming that he's a giant. He's Andre the Giant's son. We have another Andre the Giant's son. Perfect. After this, the Future defeat the Von Erichs. Very good rating for some people who are very experienced. The Briscoes were on commentary for the match. After it finishes, they get up. They have mics in their hands and they say, "Listen up, kiddos. Y'all some tough talkers, and you definitely got some skills. But y'all ain't nothing compared to us. We gonna show you that next week. Oh, next week, you hear? Bring all you got for us. And we are just gonna take you down." So yeah, pretty quick thing. After this, Paul Heyman is seen in his office. He has Paige Van Zandt and Brock Lesnar beside him. And he says, "Next week, it's a very important week in AEW. As a celebration of our country, we're having our titles be fought. We're having titles be fought for on both Dynamite and Rampage. And that, alongside a litany of other top-tier matches, such as the one recently brought to my desk, Samoa Joe and CM Punk, taking on the Bastard Pac and Donovan Dijak, and of course, that's even not finished yet. Well, that means that next week may be one of our greatest in this company's history. And as selfish as it might be, I want to be in that fun myself. So, Paige Van Zandt will take on Queen Lupa next week as well. But of course, things aren't going to go that simply, because he's about to hype up more matches when a knock happens at the door. Heyman says that he's busy, but Moxley doesn't care. Bursts the door open. Moxley comes in. Brock rushes ahead. Paige Van Zandt, she's probably just trying to skirt around this, but Mox and Lesnar get into a big brawl. Eventually, Mox puts Lesnar through Heyman's desk, saunters up to him very threateningly. "So you put me on the cards next week, right, Paul?" And Heyman, he's cowering, he's doing like a quick nod, like, yes, alright, please don't hurt me. I was like, you know what? Good. I'll have more that I want to get off my chest after I beat Brock in the ring, so I'll let you worry about what I'm going to say until then. So yeah, just a quick segment, get Mox involved as well. Now, after a commercial break, MJF makes his way to the ring. He has the entirety of the VIP's club behind him. Boos, of course, are going down because it's MJF. Eventually, he starts speaking. 3 years. It's been 3 years since AEW has graced the wrestling world with its presence, and in that time, it's going to be more legitimate than any other American alternative has ever been out there. TNA, even with people like Hulk Hogan, it could never reach the heights that AEW has. WCW might have been hot for a while, but eventually it crashed, burned. And AEW, we're still strong. But I want to rewind just a sentence about WCW. I've seen people complain that AEW is just another WCW. And there's times when I have to agree. I mean, let's look at why WCW crashed and burned. There's too many good people on the roster. You can't give time to everyone. And, well, Tony, it seems like your experiments with signing every ex-WWE person out there is leading towards that. An obsession with ratings, TV ratings, beating the WWE, beating all those people that are against us. Well, you're paying hand over fist for Dave Meltzer and his good words and his high star ratings. But here's the kicker. Here's the coup de grace that puts WCW and AEW into a worrying similarity. And that's your management of your homegrown talents. Let's not kid ourselves. We know what your MO is, Tony. You get a bunch of your dad's money, and you shill it out to past their prime legends. People who are coasting off of the success that they had in Stanford, who haven't been able to keep their groove in the ring or out of the ring since 2015. You pay Chris Jericho the most money he has ever made in his career to be out of shape and to be an afterthought. You pay Kevin Steen and Rami Sabay tens of thousands of dollars to rehash what they did in Ring of Honor, and it only gets you more money because they had that time in Stamford. You pay old man AJ Styles and consistent flameout Fergal Devitt to headline your shows, and you wonder why you get compared to those other shows. But there's two real big ones, two people who I have not been able to forgive this absolute stain on this company. CM Punk and Miro. CM Punk is someone who has been overhyped his entire career. People have lauded him as one of the best people on the mic that they've ever seen. When I am better than him, and he knows it. I'm better than he has ever been, and he knows it, and yet he is the one getting the big money. He is the one getting all the love, while I am just an afterthought. He's someone who's been overhyped his entire career. He quit because he didn't get his way. He quit because he wasn't as big as The Rock. And now he's taking away the spotlight. He's taking away the money from people who deserve it. And you know what? When that match happens next week, I will be glad to watch Pac break his ribs in one by one. And if anything, I would be happy to lend him a hand. And so, we come to Miro. Let's rewind the clock to just 2 years ago. AEW is still a young company, but there's a big announcement shattering the world that there's going to be a change in philosophy and booking. One of the stars of that change in philosophy, one of the big people to try to push AEW into a new level of the atmosphere, is Miro, an ex-WWE guy. I can excuse Jericho. I can excuse Mox. I can even excuse Matt Hardy showing up, taking big spotlight roles. They are all legends of the business. They are all bona fide stars back then. But Miro? He was a mid-carder at best, who is most well known for his wife constantly leaving him for being inadequate. And yet you pay him top dollar. You put him at the top of the card. You give him a title shot before me. The man who you just hired gives a title shot before the man who works his ass off since the day that this company was founded. He attacks your staff and he doesn't get punished for it. He gets rewarded for it. And yet he has the gall to say that I am the bad guy in this. But you know what? Hey, I'll calm down for a moment. There is time for justice to be done. Everyone, you're going to have to make decisions. Tony, payday's coming up for a lot of the stars. You don't just have the time to sit back and watch as everything goes your way. We're asking for money, and Miro, I'm going to remind AEW why you are nothing. Why I deserve that spotlight. Why I deserve everything. And you want to know why that is? It's because I'm better than you. You know it. I will be perfectly transparent with this. I am recording, writing this, all that stuff, Friday, June 3rd. Which means it's very outdated by the time that it actually gets uploaded, but that's neither here nor there. But what the point is that the Dynamite before this, MJF had his big worked shoot promo. I am almost certain it is a worked shoot. That influenced me. And actually, even in the game, MJF's contract is coming up fairly soon. He's got 33 days left on his contract. So by next Dynamite, I will be in contract negotiations with him because I'm going to bring MJF back. He's the star of the show. He's amazing. MJF should always be at the top of the card no matter where he is. MJF, absolute money. But, you know, felt good writing an MJF promo. After this, Rami Sabay defeats Nick Jackson. It's a very quick match. After the match, Sabay shows respect to Nick Jackson for a well-fought match. Steen and Matt Jackson get into the ring, and they shake hands as the announcers announce that a singles match will be on Saturday's Rampage between Steen and Matt Jackson. After this, vignette plays of Brody Lee's highlights throughout his tenure in AEW. The camera zooms out to show Brody watching those highlights himself. His eyes are buggy because he is very good at that. Was very good at that. Still is in this universe. As he touches tightly to the IWGP US title. I was the star of the show. I had the world around my fingertips. I had my Dark Order beside me. But now, it's all gone. I've realized now that the only person I can rely on is myself. Anyone who stands in my way will fall. I will make them fall. Japan, Canada, Mexico, America, anyone, anywhere, anytime. I will lay out a path of blood. And I will never let this title go. This title will be my legacy. And I dare anyone to try to take it. Brody Lee's going feral. After this, Riho defeats Chris Statlander. After victory, Riho shows a little bit of respect to Chris Statlander, giving a small bow. Christopher Daniels, who was on commentary, largely explaining the big change, explains how much work Riho has done in the past near 2 years to get to this point once again. However, as he is talking, Priscilla Kelly's music hits, and the Bullet Babe makes her way to the ring. And she says, all I've heard all week is Riho this and Riho that. People act like she's the best thing in pro wrestling to come out of Japan in the last 10 years, but we all know that it's the Bullet Club, still riding strong. And look, Riho, I get that you used to be champion, but that's the key word, used to be champion. You've already fallen off your heights, and the Bullet Club is just soaring higher and higher and higher. And it's time for me to show how much impact that Bullet Club has in America. I needed a women's match on the card. I'm trying to get Riho another big push. Priscilla Kelly, she's also getting a big push. Works out. After this, we have a sit-down interview with Renee Paquette and Adam Page, asking about next week's title match with Darby Allin. Adam Page, he's very succinct, very to the point. He's a good kid. He's fantastic in the ring, and I gotta be prepared for him. I know how much he's going to put everything on the line, so I need to prepare to do the same as well. It's as simple as that, Renee. Just right to the point. And in our main event, Adam Cole defeats Shinsuke Nakamura with a Panama Sunrise. Following the match, Adam Cole prepares to hit Shinsuke with another Panama Sunrise when Hiromu Takahashi's music blares out and the ticking time bomb rushes out to protect the Japanese legend in Shinsuke Nakamura. Cole and Takahashi get face-to-face. It's mainly Cole gets face-to-face with Takahashi, and Cole yelling, all this stuff about gimmick infringement. It's a little bit of a comedic angle in a way, but eventually Bruiser Sheridan of the Cult of Cole slides into the ring, big suplex to Takahashi. Adam Cole does the usual Adam Cole Bay taunt, and the Cult converge on Shinsuke and Takahashi as the show ends. Adam Cole standing tall, 82 rated show. That is one of our best Dynamites ever. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Start off a little bit slow, then picked up near the end, had a good middle section. Basically, by the quarterlies it wouldn't be great, but oh well. But that will be our show for this time. We'll move on to Rampage for the next episode.